Hi guys, and welcome back to Miss Harlow's Quarantine Reads, where I talk to you about what I've been reading while we're on extended leave. Hey guys, really quick, before we get to the video, I just want to let you know that if you haven't been to our library website in a while, I've recently updated it with all kinds of free content and resources for you guys. Digital audiobooks, ebooks, virtual experiences like art museums and zoos, podcasts, author readings, all kinds of cool stuff. So I'd head over to our school website, click for students, and then library, and you'll see a page that has all the links you need. Alright, back to Alright guys, today's quarantine read is Upright Women Wanted by Sarah Gailey. This is another Tor.com novella. It's only about 176 pages, and it is the first thing by Gailey that I have ever read, which is embarrassing because I follow them on Twitter and interact with them. Sorry, I will fix that. Need to read more of your books. But the reason I picked this book to start with their content is the tagline, which reads, "Are you a coward or are you a librarian?" Guys, I don't know if you know this. I'm a librarian. What is it about? It is about a woman who watches her best friend and secret lover hang, and afterwards decides to run away. And so she does so by hiding out in a librarian wagon. We need a history lesson really quick. This concept of Wild West librarians is actually rooted in some truth. As early as 1900, there are records of women, newly minted librarians, going out into pioneer towns, frequently areas of Texas, even in Oregon. There's letters from a librarian in Salem, where they were the only librarian for almost 130 miles or more. Their role was to bring materials to isolated communities, much like this woman you see here. They existed around the 1900s, but they really took off during the Great Depression because the pack horse librarians were part of the New Deal. So not quite as Old West as we would like in terms of being related to this book, but pack horse women, book women, riding out on horseback alone into isolated regions, traveling by themselves in dangerous circumstances are 100% a real part of American history. Now back to the book. She's discovered quickly thereafter and spends her time and journey with the librarians sort of reflecting on who she is and learning why that is okay and why it's good and finding a place where she actually feels like she belongs for the first time. On the surface, it's this Wild West romp with gun-toting ladies and bandit fights and horse chases and all that kind of fun Red Dead Redemption-esque stuff. But deep down inside, it's actually a story about knowing who you are and loving who you are. So I think that was really well done. I think Gailey very obviously pulled from their personal experiences to write a story with a lot of heart and a lot of just really moving moments that you don't anticipate because, again, you're here for the gunfights. You're here for the Wild West until you get, plowed over by some feelings. So I really appreciated that the book could do both, and it did both very, very well. A little bit about Gailey. Gailey is an award-winning science fiction and fantasy author. They also write articles for Tor.com and are a frequent contributor for Barnes & Noble's science fiction and fantasy blog. So they are around, they're writing a lot of novellas, they have an adult novel, and their first YA novel is coming out either this month or next month. It's called When We Were Magic. I will be on the lookout to read that one and hopefully get it added to our collection because I think Gailey has a lot of skill and talent, and this book showed that off really well. If we were to own this book, which, full disclosure, we probably would not just because of the colorful language, right? We have an advanced reading section for a reason. That being said, the language is quite colorful. I learned some things that I don't know if I needed to learn, but I learned them. But it's really incredibly niche, right? It's a future dystopia, Wild West, librarian book. If you aren't into all of those things, you may not pick up this book. It would be a really hard book to advise to someone. So I think it just doesn't make a ton of sense for our high school library. But if we did, it would very obviously be an advanced fiction, mainly because of the language. The artwork. I really, really wanted to point out the artwork. I'm very impressed by the cover art. You've got these women around their campfire, their horses out here. You've got some cactus, those mountains in the background with the big sky. That feels like home. Like, looking at that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the desert, that's home. I also really love the typeface they used for the cover font. It definitely feels like a broadsheet, big headlines, that sensationalist, upright women wanted, kind of propaganda-ish, which really fits thematically what's going on in the world of this book. So I just thought that was really impressively done, and kudos to the art department for this book, because it's really pretty. Okay, I promise I'm done geeking out about artwork and horses. Sorry about that. Alright guys, that's all I have for you today. Please hit me up in the comments, let me know what you're reading right now, and I'll be back soon with another quarantine read.